Okay, folks, so this was your assignment for the week of 420 through 424, and it was the how to show space in an outer space themed drawing. And remember that you had to have certain requirements in your drawing. You needed to have an astronaut, a space shuttle, an alien, and a UFO. Okay, and then we needed to have some of our drawing techniques, which included things like overlapping. So remember, I had my astronaut in front of my tether, which my tether was in front of my space shuttle. We talked about size and placement, having things that were further up on the paper to show that things were further away. Size as well, things that that are closer to you or lower on the paper should look like they were bigger to show that they were closer to the viewer. Okay, and then we talked about too that even though we know that this planet, which represents Jupiter, is the largest planet, it should be a lot bigger, but because it's further back on the paper, its placement and size is going to make it smaller to again trick us and give us the feeling that it is further back in space away from the viewer. So I'm going to show you what mine looked like after it was finished. And I used this and colored with crayon for most of it. My stars I'd colored with markers first, and then I colored with crayons around it. Some of the details I had used markers and then crayons. And then I actually scratched a lot of my crown away because I had colored really dark and it started to lose some of my details. So I used a pair of scissors and very carefully scratched the top layer of my crowns off. And because they were wax, they leave behind that. And I thought that was kind of a cool effect. So some of the places are marker, and then some of the places are crayon. And then some of kind of a mix of both. And it kind of gave it a really cool effect there. Okay, so today's drawing is to help you with the week of 4/27 and through May 1st. Okay, we are continuing our outer space themed drawing, and we are continuing using the element of space. This time, what the assignment is for our astronaut to land on our alien planet, and we want our astronaut to meet our aliens. And in this one, we're going to focus on creating a foreground, which means F for up front, middle ground, and background. Don't forget, I have those previously created YouTube drawings, how to draw videos to help you on my channel, NTI Art. And look for my little bit emoji to help you find me. And it'll still have the same how to draw astronauts, space shuttle, and aliens. Now you'll have to change them up a little bit to fit this video. But the space in art video is really going to help you with the idea of a foreground, a middle ground, and a background. Okay? This video is just going to help you kind of get it set up. And then I want you to use your own imagination to help you get what you're going to put in there, your own astronaut, your own alien, etc. Okay? All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I want you to remember to put your name on your paper. I still have folks turning in works that don't have their name. So I'm going to put my first and my last name on here. I'm also going to make sure that for this assignment that I put Explore NTI on here, okay? All right. And I'm going to put that on the back. And then I'm going to turn this over. All right. And we have plenty of room to write and draw. All right. So the first thing I kind of want to do is figure out what I want on my paper. I know in my directions what I have to have, but I kind of want to go ahead and plan out and very lightly sketch out where I'm going to have things. So I know I'm going to have, things in the foreground. So I'm just going to kind of lightly put a line here and know that foreground again means things in the front. Then I have things in the middle. So I'm going to put kind of a light line right here. And then I'm going to have a background. And I think I kind of want this to have this like ruggedy, rocky kind of mountainy background in the background. So I'm going to do something kind of like this. And again, I'm just kind of loosely holding my pencil back here, just kind of give me a loose line, okay? And then I think I'm going to have, instead of like a sun coming up, I think I'm going to have like a planet with rings around it coming up. Just to be different. Give us again the idea that we're not on Earth and it's an alien planet. So I'm going to start with a circle, just like I would if it was a rising sun. And then I'm going to make the rings come off at a slant. And they're going to go off the paper. Kind of like that. All right. And again, I could draw those darker later when I'm sure that I have everything exactly like I like it. Okay. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is I want to think about where I want items. I know that I'm going to have here in my foreground, I'm just going to put like a little circular blobby shape for where I'm going to have my astronaut, and I'm going to have my alien right in here. And then I'm going to have my alien city back in here, kind of in the middle ground. So my astronaut, my alien are going to be on my foreground. My alien city is going to be kind of in my middle ground. And one of the other requirements was that I have my space shuttle in here. And I think this time I'm going to draw a little bit of a different type of space shuttle. I have more of a landing space shuttle, something a little different. And I think I'm going to kind of put that maybe here in the middle ground as well. So I'm going to kind of sketch it here just a little bit. Just put a little shape here. So this way I now kind of go, okay, I've got room for everything that I need to have in here. So now I can start getting a little more, creative and start drawing in where I want things. All right. So I'm going to start with my city because that's one of my requirements I have to have. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so you guys can see a little better about what I'm drawing. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start with some buildings. And I'm thinking, some alien skyscraper type buildings, maybe. Some big buildings. So I'm going to start with some kind of squarish like shapes. Start with one that's just basically a long, tall rectangle. And you can use your ruler here if you would like to make sure that it's all nice and perfectly straight. And then I think I'm going to have it come up pretty tall. All right. And I think instead of just a straight top, I'm going to make it diagonally. All right. And I think I'm going to make it go maybe kind of like this. Give us the impression that it is 3D. All right. I'm going to draw another building here before I finish that one off. So I think I'm going to put another square shape right here that's right butted up next to it. But again, I kind of like this idea of making these, instead of straight, I'm going to make them kind of diagonals. And then I'm going to make this one kind of come up like it's popping up out of this building, a second layer. This time, I think I'm going to make it slant this way just to be a little different. Then I'll make a third layer, smaller. And again, I'm just using a regular wooden pencil with a good eraser. If you have a mechanical pencil, that's fine. And I got 3 layers. I think I'm going to do a 4th one. And all I'm doing is each section of the building that's coming out is slightly smaller than the first section, and they're just slanting in the opposite direction. All right. I think I'll do another one. They say odd numbers look better for some reason. I'm going to make this one come all the way up here. I'm going to erase inside here. The building wouldn't be, my building's not being made of glass here. I think I'm going to put an antenna in here. A little circle on top. And maybe I'll do one of those little things around there. All right. All right, go ahead and erase this little bit of a horizon line I had here. Okay. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do a couple more buildings. I'm going to make these buildings a little more different, a little more weird. I'm going to erase this little previous circle I'd put here, a little oval shape to tell me where I wanted my buildings. All right. I'm going to make this building kind of look like, remember in this drawing when I made these spaceships? I think I'm going to make these like the top of a building with like a long part coming out there. So I'm going to start right here. And I'm going to make a circle. Another circle on top. I'm just kind of mimicking that shape I did earlier. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. Just thought, that might be a kind of cool building. All right. Then I'm just going to make it be like it's on a tower. I'm just going to bring this straight down. Make another one straight down. Then I'm going to do another one right here, like at a different level. So I'm going to do another little half circle like this. And do a little oval around it. Do a little band here in the middle. And then do the little bottom part. Don't forget, if I'm going too fast, too slow, you can always pause, rewind, or fast forward the video if you need to. I'm going to bring this down just a little. All right. Make this come down. Kind of look like little hamburgers. Okay. Now, let me put another building back here behind this one. Just a regular old flat top building. And again, if you have a ruler, feel free to use a ruler. If you need to take a piece of paper and fold it up to get you some straight edges and use that, you can. Okay? All right. Now, we got to finish out the bottom here. So I'm just going to put like a straight line here. Okay, I can already tell that I'm starting to get the dirty smudges again from where I call my lazy hand, and it's dragging across the paper. So I'm going to get me a piece of scratch paper and kind of fold it. I'm going to fold it twice, I like it in a little book shape. So that way I can use this for my hand because I'm getting smudges all over my picture. And I don't want to have dirty smudges everywhere. And that way too I can lay my hand on here and not get my picture dirty. All right, so I'm going to go back to my drawing my buildings here. I'm going to make these come down, touch the bottom. And I'm just going to do this one kind of lightly because I have a feeling that part of my alien is going to be drawn over part of this building here. I said lightly and then I went over that dark. Okay. Now we need to add details like doors and windows, and you could put signs and you could write it in an alien language, and you could put a little satellite dish up here on the top, or whatever you think would be on the top of an alien building. I think I'm just going to show you how I would put windows on one, just give you an idea of it, and then let you kind of work on your own with that so you can figure out how you would want to do that. I would probably start by just making a light line here. And again, use your ruler if you want it to be all nice and straight. And I would probably go back with my ruler to make this all nice and straight after I sketched it out. Give me an idea of where I want it. Okay. I'd also go ahead and put my doors in there first. And I'd probably put a double doors since it's a big office building. Or skyscraper, maybe it's an apartment building, who knows? Okay. And then I would go through and just using my ruler, just kind of draw in my windows. They would be straight right around in here, and they'd be kind of curved up or slanted up right there. Not really curved, but slanted there. Oops. And they would start slanting up this way. So my doors are definitely off. Boom. And then again, I would go up with my ruler and I would just and again, I'm just lightly sketching this, showing you how I would do that. Went too far. And then I would erase inside of this little piece right here. So you had like a grid of windows. So let me show you what I mean. I use my ruler. So I've drawn that line straight and that line straight. Then I'm going to scoot over just a little bit where the door is. And then in between right here, I'm going to erase because I have this nice eraser right here and get right in between there. All right. Go ahead and work on this side. And again, you can't see because I don't have it on this one. Erase right inside there. And I may just put one line right through the middle of this one. And let that go. Alright. Now I'm going to turn my paper. Remember, it's okay to turn your paper whatever way you need to make sure that you can get in there comfortable with your hand and draw. Now, as I draw these lines, I'm skipping where I had erased before. You could, though, skip that step. You could just go straight through there to make it easier for yourself. There's nothing that says I had to put that empty space in there. There's windows on skyscrapers that go all the way across. So you could have totally done that as well. You get the idea. I'm not going to sit here and waste your time by doing that all the way up, but you can do that all the way up. That does still look a little funky down there, though. So I may do something where I put some pile of rocks up here or whatever to make it look like not so weird right there. Okay? So you can do that all the way up. You don't have to have that empty brick space here or wall space there. Again, those could have been another row of windows. You could also, like on this, I might put like, I might do like a curved line around this building to kind of give you the idea that this is kind of rounded, a tower. So I'm going to erase this up just a little and give it kind of a curved feel. Let me clean this up as I go. So by doing this, then I may only put, a window here and there. I may put one here. I may skip and come down here. I may put one here. Just here and there. I don't have to put a window every which way. And then over here, I may just, put a block of windows in here where I just, use my ruler and just do something like that. And that's okay for windows to look like that as well. Just don't forget to have some doors in there. Or, you can have space for signs. You can make up your own little alien language to have some advertisements going on there. Okay? All right. At the bottom, I've got to figure out how I'm going to make this look better. I may, like I said, this is kind of in the middle ground, so I can have other things here in the front. So I may end up making something grow here or something come up that kind of covers up that little area that's a little awkward. Okay. In fact, usually when I do the alien space drawing, I like to do like moon craters and these like crystal looking things that grow up out of the ground that I got from the Alien Fantasies, How to Draw Alien Fantasies book. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So we're going to do that right here. It's going to be growing out of the foreground, so here close to the ground, and then growing up. All right. So the first thing that we're going to start with is like moon craters or these holes in the ground. So I'm going to start kind of right in here, and you basically start with a flattened circle or an oval, and it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. It kind of looks better if they're kind of bumpyish. All right. And then you go around that with just kind of a thin lip or an edge. And you just kind of mimic that first circle that you drew. And again, I'm kind of drawing dark here so that you can see it. Then you come right up here next to this edge, and I kind of go in a little bit and then come out. And then same way on this side. Kind of come in and then go out just a little bit. Kind of like a little volcano. And then I like to come in and make a few more lines, especially where like the circle kind of comes in and out, or the edge. And I usually do that on the inside as well. And then when I go to add color and value, I usually try to color inside of here darker so that it looks like it's dark inside there and it's going down. I always have kids ask me, can I make something look like it's coming up out of that hole? Yes, you can. That's amazing if you can do. All right. And then you can add more of those. You can add like a second one. I think I am going to put one that kind of comes off the page here because that's always interesting when you do that. So I'm just going to start by adding those little flattened circles that fall off the page there. And then a little slim edge with it again. And then this just kind of goes like this right there behind it. Doesn't go through it because it's behind. Again, we're using that technique of overlapping. And then I'm going to just do some of these here. And then a few on the inside. All right, so let's talk about these little crystal things that are going to look like they are jutting up out of the ground. The first thing you do is you start with some lines, some straight lines that just go up. Okay, and we're going to do a couple. All right. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to turn those straight lines into arrows. They look like arrows pointing up. And I want them different heights. You don't want them to be all the exact same height. And we can add more here in a minute. All right. And then the next thing you do is you just take these sides and they just come straight down. And they're going to stop behind the little craters that we just drew. Now, hopefully you're starting to see the little crystal idea, but I'm going to help you get some more crystal looking things by when we add another layer of these. Okay. All right, so we're going to do it again. Right here in between here, I've got some extra room, so I'm going to add another one that's a little bit taller. I'm going to put another one right here. I'm going to put another one right here. I'm going to overlap my buildings. All right, so I've added 3 more. Make this one a little bit taller. All right, same step as before. Turn these into arrows pointing up. Make these a little bit bigger. And now I'm going to connect the sides, and these are going to go down. But as soon as they touch those other arrows, they're going to stop. All right, and you can add some more if you'd like. I feel like there would be one more over here. And it's going to fall off my page here, so that's why it's a little harder to draw. I'm going to put another one right here. I'm going to fill this baby up. I'm going to go ahead and erase inside my little crystals. And you could add as many or as little as you want. I could put another one right here, which I think I'm going to. So I need to erase all of this in here. I'm just going to go ahead and erase that out. Go back over that. I'm going to add another one in here. Now again, you don't have to have as many as I do. You don't even have to have them in this one spot. You can have these all around. You can move them around if you wanted to. I just like to, they're easy to draw, and I like having them in there. I think it's an interesting shape to have in there. All right, that's pretty good. All right. I think I'm going to come over here. So I'm just sliding my paper over here to the other angle, and I'm going to add some more of those craters, and I'm going to do one that's pretty big right up here at close because I want it pretty low on the page and pretty good size to show that this is really close to the viewer. Because remember, size and placement help prove what things are close to the viewer and things that are far away to help prove space. So I'm going to put that one right there. And this one you're just barely going to see. If we're not careful, we, the viewers, could be falling into this one. This would be a good one to have something sticking out of, too. So I may later change my mind. I don't know. I'm going to put another one right here. And I think I'll put a little skinnier one back here. Again, just give them the impression that things are getting further and further away from us. You could have more, you could have less. You don't even have to have these over here, okay? I think I'm going to add a little bit of crystals right here. So again, start with the straight lines up. turn those into arrows pointing up. And this one's going to fall off the page. And then draw those sides straight down. And then add some more where you feel like you need some. I think I'm going to add a few right here. So they're kind of all the same size, and I like it better when they're all jutting out at different sizes. I think I'm going to make that one a little bit bigger. There we go. That's good. All right. So now I need to kind of concentrate on the middle. All right. So I'm going to back this up a little bit. So right now you can see that I've got some things going on in all the areas of my picture. I've got my background kind of started. I've got some mountainy things going on, or the beginning of it. I've got my ringed planet in the background. I can still add stars. I could add some really tiny UFOs flying in the sky, or satellites, a shooting star if I wanted to. I've got my middle ground kind of going on here. I've got my city, my alien city, which is one of the requirements. I still need to get my shuttle in here. And then in my foreground, I've started it. I've got like little craters, these little crystal-like things going on. I could add some weird greenery, maybe some kind of plant. And then I've got to get my astronaut and my alien in here. So at this point, you could stop if you wanted to stop watching this video and add your own creative things in here. And you have a good start for your background, your middle ground, and your foreground. Okay? At this point, I'm going to start to add again and keep adding my own things to this. So I'm going to work on having my space shuttle back here. So I worked on looking at some different how to draw space shuttles and some different things. And I saw one that, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but I think kind of looked like a rocket ship more. So I'm going to go with my imagination and think about what a rocket ship might look like. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to have it landing up so that it's ready for takeoff. And I'm going to start with like a bullet type shape. And then I'm going to put a circle. And then give it like a rim. All right. I'm going to put a door. And I feel like the kind of doorknob it would have would be one of those twisty kinds. That you would twist and have to seal it to make sure it stayed sealed shut. All right. I don't know what you would call these little things. And then little rocket boosters. So when we were ready to take off, this is what the fire would shoot out of. And then let's see. I'm going to put some designs on my space shuttle, kind of mimic the original space shuttle that we flew down out of. And I'm going to put USA up here at the top. And again, I want those to be bubbly letters so that I can color them in and add some color. Maybe I'll make another alien looking out. Who knows? Alien. Well, I guess on this planet we would be the aliens, but an astronaut. Who knows? All right. Maybe I'll make this be on a cliff. So to do the cliff, I just kind of gave it a weird organic type shape for the ground. And then you just kind of, where these little bumps come out, you just make a line that kind of comes down. And it don't have to be straight. It can be kind of bumpy. And I'm just going to make them come down to that first line that we drew for the foreground. I may end up putting some plants or something here. Not sure. I may just leave it. So we would need this nice, clean, empty space for us to land and be able to shoot back up. All right, so there's my space shuttle requirement. All right. All right, now we need our astronaut and our alien. Okay, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to do my chibi astronaut. I think though I'm going to start with my alien because they're going to be looking at us. So I'm going to start with where I kind of think I want my head, and then where I want his or her body, and the arms, and the legs. I'm just kind of doing what I call like the stick figure or the pre-sketch. Now I'm not going to be able to just leave that though like that. So I got an idea about where I want my alien, okay? And then I'm going to think about where I want my astronaut. And I think I want to draw like the back of my astronaut this time. Oh, my phone's ringing. And that's kind of be where the astronaut is going to be. So, my little chibi astronaut. I think I'm going to do the same little chibi astronaut I did before. All right, so we're going to start with the alien. And I'm going to do the same kind of light bulb head. And they're big, big eyes that I drew before. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to have my astronaut giving my alien a gift. Because if you go to a party or you're invited to someone's house for the first time, it shows good manners if you bring the hostess or the host a gift. So since we're coming to their planet, we're going to bring them a gift. Okay. And I just noticed in my last drawing, they only had 3 fingers and a thumb, so I've got to fix that. And they had really long fingers. All right. I'm just going to give him 3 toes too. And I'm erasing any lines I don't need. All right. So there's my alien. I'm not sure if that's how I'm going to leave him or her or not. Haven't decided yet. Okay. Now, let's work on my chibi astronaut. Sorry, my arm is in the way there. Got some shadows. All right. My chibi astronaut. So let's start with that big old chibi head. Mm-hmm. So I started with my astronaut helmet because I know I'm going to have that big old fishbowl helmet on there. And I'm drawing my astronaut pretty short because 1, chibis are Japanese slang for, short, chubby. 2, because I'm pretty short myself. All right. And then we're going to see the side of the chibi. So it's going to be kind of like this. And then the eye is going to be right here. Remember, they have big old eyes. All right. Try and put the nose in there. No, little nose. All right. So her eyes. When I did it last time, she had 2 eyelashes. So 2 eyelashes. Big highlight, little highlight, dark pupil, and that's where I will color it. And then my straight hair pieces. I forgot my eyebrow, but that's okay. And then my helmet goes kind of like that. So I actually need to erase that line right there. And then I have that edge around there. Where's my chibi? Alright. So, now I need to get her little arm. I said earlier I was going to see the back of her, but it looks like I'm drawing more of the side of her. So I'm going to draw like this. Have her hand out like that for her present that she wants to give the alien. So I'm going to draw my little present in first. And I'm going to make it have a ribbon. So I'm imagining if I handed out a present, I would see my thumb on this side. So thumb, and then one finger. And I'm looking back at my old picture to see how many I had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll put a little elbow piece right there for her arm sleeve. Alright. A little bean body. So that little box on the front of her, the little straps to it. A little belt that goes around. And then she had her legs. And she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little bumps on her. I'm counting the little puffy parts, so I make sure that her legs kind of match the first time we did it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. And then that was her boot. All right. I'm going to go back and make it bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there is her boot. Alright folks, so now you're getting the idea here, alright? So I'm going to push pause because this video is getting pretty long. So now you know, and I'm going to show you back what it looks like when I get finished, okay? Alright folks, so good luck. Don't forget your requirements. Can't wait to see what you do. Don't forget to share with me your drawings.